The college football experience, Wisconsin Badgers 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with the promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, everybody, Jim McMahon here, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Wisconsin Badgers on Wisconsin 2025 season preview episode. YouTube.com/the college experience. We were breaking down every single FBS team in the land. We're in the 30s of 136. So we got 90 some left to get done. Yeah, we're on pace. Let's go. All right. Folks, excited to talk this pivotal year, perhaps, in the Luke Fickell era in Madison. Excited to talk about it. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Oh, boy. I'm wearing my Run the Damn Ball t-shirt. Hey, Wisconsin. You used to do that, and you won a shit ton of games. Just an idea how to get things back on track. Look, love Badger football. Great state of Wisconsin. They love their football, and I'm excited to talk about it. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the college basketball experience. Don't forget, when the basketball season goes live, we're there every single night of the season. The same can be said for football. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, at South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and at West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
What's up, man? On Wisconsin, big year, tough schedule. Let's talk about it.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight. Yeah, I mean, this is where I get to channel my, I get to sound like this for a second here. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Victory lap.
I mean, I don't like celebrating the potential unemployment, but I will say the
get my limousine right on
if I may,
get my Learjet, woo, and take off to New Orleans. You got it, New Orleans. If you're watching right now, I'm 42,000 feet easing on in. Because in several hours, woo, I'm going to walk that aisle. Look at as only the nature boy can look. Oh, so fine.
I am feeling oh so fine, Mac. Look, Ric Flair was the greatest shit talker ever, perhaps. And I do like talking shit. I brought up the last episode. Go listen to our Colorado preview. I mean, not many people were giving out Colorado on the money line as a 21-point dog 2 years ago against TCU. And I'll be wrong on some teams here and there. But I don't think there was many places that said this Luke Fickell hire is not going to work out at Wisconsin. I don't think it's going to work out at Wisconsin. And I'm looking pretty good so far. That's not to say that he couldn't rattle off a 10-win season and shut me the fuck up. But I feel pretty fucking good here. And every other podcast I listen to says, well, this was a slam dunk. And I was like, I didn't like it from the start. Where are you at with the Luke Fickell era, man?
Disappointing. I think that everybody would say that in Madison, 13-13, and that's including his bowl game that he randomly coached when he got the job. So, yeah, I mean, coming off missing a bowl for the first time in over 20 years, I believe. Yeah. And it's tough times in Madison. They got away from their identity. They tried the air raid and
the dairy raid, raid, right?
I mean, just any raid. You don't do that at Wisconsin. You got to embrace your identity. You got to the Rose Bowls. I mean, they were in the Rose Bowl every year. It felt like at once upon a time by running the ball right down your opponent's throat, and they're going to try and get back to that to a certain degree. I just hope it's not too late for Coach Fickell.
Yeah. So he's what? His 9-3 season in 22 was with Cincinnati, folks. He was 7-6 in his year 1 at Wisconsin, 5-7 last year. And, they fired Paul Chryst, who I didn't think he was doing a horrible job. No, he wasn't at that same tier that Bielema was at, and I was surprised. There was talk at the time Jim Leonard was going to be the guy. They didn't go with him. They went with Fickell, but this is one of the teams that you say, why'd you vote yes on adding USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon? Because I think before you would say, if you had to power rank the Big Ten jobs, everyone would say Ohio State, Michigan, 1 or 2, Penn State, 3. And then there would be the debate of either Iowa or Wisconsin. But I think Wisconsin kind of had a little bit of a leg up for a little bit there. Now, when you add in USC, Oregon, Washington, UCLA, I mean, they're pretty fucking far back. And then you try to switch your identity and be a finesse team when all those other teams, like an athlete, before your edge was, it's like Iowa now, right? Okay, USC, you got better athletes. Washington got better athletes. Whatever team, you got better athletes. You still got to come here and we're going to punch you in your face. Well, they tried to out athlete, some of these big schools where I think I don't think it's a good blueprint for how to be successful at Wisconsin. But I've been wrong before, and that's the best part about sports. We're just fucking idiots talking into a microphone, and someone can always shut us the fuck up. But let me ask you this. If he has another losing season, is he back next year?
God, that's it. All right, so that's a two-part question because we're going to touch on the schedule, and I know it's kind of a public narrative at how hard this schedule is. It is by far the hardest schedule in the country. I don't think he'll be back if he has another losing season. I don't think you can have back-to-back losing seasons at Wisconsin. I think the standard at least should be at minimal getting to a bowl, even with the murderer's road that they're going to have to go through.
Yeah, I think the problem is those then who do you turn to bring it back to what it was? I think that they have some challenges ahead of them. Then do you be patient and give them that fourth year? Another thing is they got to pay the players $20 million, right? So, sorry, I'm pouring a vodka here. I've been to the great state of Wisconsin, and it is drunken debauchery. So I feel like what better time to pour a straight alcohol on the rocks.
Oh, they love to drink up there in Wisconsin, baby. Miller Lite. They love them some Millers up there, baby.
Oh yeah. Great drinking state. Cheers, brother. Yeah. I mean, youtube.com/the college experience. We have a slideshow going. I think it's a
proud program. Like, it should not be back-to-back losing seasons if they don't get it done this year.
Well, let's talk about the offense that they got going here. Jeff Grimes is the new OC. At one point, Jeff Grimes was the hot name there as OC 4 or 5 years ago. It's been tough sledding for him lately. I know he was at Baylor. He was at BYU. Kansas, I think, 1 year too. They were not good on offense last year. 108th in scoring offense, 102nd in pass offense, 78th in rush offense at Wisconsin, 99th in total offense. I know they had some injuries, but all right, let's see if they can improve this. They bring in Billy Edwards, Billy the Kid from Maryland, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Strange get to me. I kind of like Billy Edwards as a player, but it was a strange get to me. Did not have that on the
bingo card.
Yeah, I just.
Well, and Colby, real quick, I know maybe the excuse makers for Wisconsin last year will say the season went off the rails when Van Dyke went down, but I mean, injuries are part of the game. So I mean, now they get Billy Edwards. I mean, that's in your opinion, is that a downgrade from Van Dyke?
I mean, he's kind of more of a gamer, but even before he got injured, because Van Dyke got injured in that Bama game,
they're getting killed.
They were getting like, go look at that Western Michigan score, 28-14 week 1. That shit was a game. And if Western Michigan doesn't fumble, that score's a little deceiving. That was a very close game. I just don't think they were that good last year. It doesn't matter who they had. Now they did have that nice 3-game stretch where they destroyed Purdue, Rutgers, and Northwestern and limited 16 points combined by those 3 teams. But you look elsewhere. I mean, they did play Oregon really well, but man, you lost to Iowa 42-10. You know, like
they had Van Dyke against South Dakota too.
That's what I'm saying. South Dakota gave them all they could handle too. It was like
game in the fourth quarter.
I did think they got like the Oregon game is impressive at the end, but man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of the offense. So Billy Edwards, I think he's actually a little bit more of a gamer than Van Dyke. Van Dyke was a little more of a statue to me, so I kind of like that aspect. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's an upgrade. He might not have the raw skills as Van Dyke, but I think it's an upgrade as far as just for your team. I think he's a guy that will do what he's got to do to win. They don't return much. Vinny Anthony, the second, is back at wideout and 3 of 5 on the O-line, but this isn't the O-line with Joe Thomas and company, which is tricky. They did go to the portal, of course. That's how they brought in Billy Edwards. They also brought in Danny O'Neal from San Diego State, who started there as a freshman. Dekel Crowdis, a wideout from Hawaii. Jaden Ballard from Ohio State as a wideout. That's a nice get. Mark Hamper from Idaho in the FCS. Tight end Lance Mason from Missouri State. Tight end Tanner Kozoil from Ball State. And then one offensive lineman, Davis Heisenberg from Central Michigan. Kind of underwhelming on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion, but Billy Edwards could be that key. Mac, will the offense? I'll say this, man. Ready? I think the offense is going to be better than 99th. See, bold takes by Dundee. You heard it here first. Subscribe to the College Football Experience. Now it might be 87th, but I think it'll be better than 99th. I think Jeff Grimes has a better identity with what he wants to do, and I think Billy the Kid is more of a gamer, and I think the team will get behind him a little bit more because of who he is. How say you?
Yeah, I think I tend to agree that it'll take a step up. I mean, that's not saying much, but I mean, they are going to play some stout defenses as well that we'll touch on. But I think they will have a better identity, to your point, where they're going to get back to their roots. They're going to try and run the ball. They're still going to throw more than they did in the past. When they were going to those Rose Bowls, just running the ball down people's throats with those 3 backs. But I think the rushing numbers will take a step up, and I think that'll help Billy Edwards make the game easier as in some decision making.
Yeah, the offense will be slightly better, I think.
It'll be different
defensively. Mike Tressel. Oh, yeah. Luke Fickell played under Jim Tressel. Mike calls up a familiar foe. He's the DC in Madison. And look, they're still somewhat respectable. 47th in scoring defense, 14th in pass defense, 91st in rush defense. This is Wisconsin.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to vomit. Who's got the barf bag? 41st in total defense. Still a top 50 defense, though. Now, is that... let me know what you think here. Is that more of the shitty offenses that were on the schedule? Because there was that 3-game stretch where Purdue scored 6, Rutgers scored 7, and Northwestern scored 3. I don't know, because when Iowa scores 42 on your defense, I just don't know if your defense, like, to me, they might be cooking the books a little bit here for us. On how good the defense really is. I will say they are going to actually be worse this year defensively because the schedule, as you alluded to, is insane. What are you going to, like, they return, hold on, I guess before I ask you that, they return to defensive tackle Ben Barton, linebacker Daryl Peterson, and 3 of 4 in the secondary. And their kicker and punter are back. But I don't think the defense was that good last year. They did go to the portal and bring in a shit ton of people on the D line.
Yeah.
Tyrese Fearby from what's that?
To stop the run.
Yeah. Tyrese Fearby from Kentucky, Mason Riegler from Riger from Louisville, Corey Walker from Western Michigan, Parker Peterson from Tulane, Michael Garner from Grambling, Javier Suggs from LSU, Charles Perkins from Tennessee, UT Martin, linebacker Anton Turner from Western Carolina. Then in the secondary, they did bring in a couple guys too. Deone Hill from Miami, who they're currently suing. Great story there. Latimer from Jacksonville State with Rich Rod. Matt Jung, a safety from Bethel. Safety Matthew Trainer from the Richmond Spiders as well. Yeah, I think the defense is going to be worse this year. They might be a better defense like had they played last year's defense, but this schedule is much worse, as we'll get to in a minute here. I think these numbers will be worse this year. Yeah.
I'm kind of torn. I think they're going to be better against the run. I think maybe more ball control, that maybe they can improve their numbers by having less possessions, but they're also going to play way more dynamic offenses. So maybe a slight step back, but I think they'll be better against the run.
That's fair. Yeah. And it's just a weird portal class, in my opinion.
It's a little bit underwhelming, but maybe that's a good thing for Wisconsin.
That could be almost like the Gundy effect that we're thinking about with Gundy.
Chip on the shoulder, baby.
Yeah, go listen to our Oklahoma State preview for more on that. Look, we're going to talk about the rest of the schedule, state of the program. But before we do that, I want to let you know that you are listening to the College Football Experience, Wisconsin Badger style. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and you can listen to every podcast episode that SGPN does on the SGPN network feed for free. Just subscribe, and you are good to go. You're going to get everything. NFL Gambling Podcast, CFL Gambling Podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast, Bottom Line Bombs, College Football Experience, College Basketball Experience, College Baseball Experience, all of our shows, more NASCAR, everything. So hop on over there and let it ride. We're also brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. You think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all the extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Millions, you pick 5 NFL teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There's also the Circa Grandissimo for a $100,000 Survivor contest. So what are you doing? Get on over there. Subscribe. All right. Well, not subscribe. Sign up is what I mean. You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook, which is in Nevada, Las Vegas. But what a great excuse to book a trip to Las Vegas. Sign up in Nevada. You can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use the promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. So buckle up and do that. All right. I mean, come on. I know the NFL kickoff is communist, but I'm saying it's still, you want to make $21 million? Let's go. Jump in. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. Look, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all the summer sports, MLB, tennis, CFL, WNBA, golf, and of course, college football and NFL futures. Look, MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we do a thing called State of the Program, and we talk about everything, like the coaching, like the identity of the team, which has shifted greatly over the past couple of years, to the stadium. And Mac, like I said, I don't know how the hell we put all 136 teams in a randomizer, but we got like all the best stadiums in a row.
This is a good one, Camp Randall.
Dude, another 10 for me. I've given out like 5 10s in like out of the last 7 episodes. I only have like 12 10s in college football. Camp Randall Stadium is 108 years young, and it's actually older than that because they've been playing at that field for even longer than that. But they built the stadium 108 years ago. Mac, this
jump around, baby.
Oh yeah, the House of Pain Classic. Shout out to Danny Boy, friend of the program. And look, I mean, this is another like chapel to me. This is why, look, Lambeau Field gets regarded as like the best NFL stadium a lot, and I agree, it is the best NFL stadium. But this is 10 times better than Lambeau Field, dude, in my opinion. This is it's just fucking awesome. Look at this thing, dude. Look at this fucking stadium. This thing is perfect. When you add everything that's there, it just has a great look. They haven't fucked with it. They've been playing for one of the oldest stadiums playing football, like in America, in the FBS in America. It's just a fire fucking stadium. They know what they're doing. Look at this shit. They're playing. Look at that back in the day.
1917.
Yeah, dude. And as I said, they're way before that even too. In 1800s, they were playing on this field, right? Look at that. That's the actual Camp Randall, by the way. Right? 1864? College football was born 4 years after this. After this fucking photo here or sketch, whatever the hell it is, right? College football was born 4 years after that. It's America's real pastime. Look at that stadium. This is back in the day too. This is a photo from like the 80s or 90s, I think. Look at this. This thing is that it's got the, you know what makes it so great is it has that regal look, and they've never fucked with it. Even when they put it in back then, they haven't fucked. See that? You see what I'm talking about? Like the baseline of what they're doing there, like the structure. They have not fucked with that. And look, they got the Barry Alvarez statue, right? Look at that. You got the fucking, look at that. That is perfect. What lake is that? Michigan? I feel like all of them are Lake Michigan to me.
Yeah, I'm bad with the lakes. Yeah. We need Beanick. Beanick, what lake is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Lake Cheddar. All right. But look at this place.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. They need that. They need that back.
Oh, yeah.
Snow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is like one of the greatest stadiums in the world, dude, in my opinion. Like, this is just a perfect stadium. You mentioned jump around, the anthem, but just the game day experience here. Look at this. It's just perfect. It's a perfect college football stadium. Their fans are awesome. They're friendly as fuck. Everyone's buying you beers. You don't even know them. You know what I mean? Hoping they're not the next Dahmer. Right? But you're just like, why is this strange dude buying me a fucking beer? He's just a nice guy. Oh, yeah, okay.
They love
I'll sign up for that.
There, man.
Right? It's just look at that. They stormed the fucking field as you should if you win a big game, and they got a lot of big games on the schedule this year. Mac, always storm the field. Don't listen to this Greg Sankey bullshit he's putting out. You pay all this ridiculous money to go to the institution. You'll remember that the rest of your life. That is your privilege for paying for your goddamn ridiculously priced education. You storm and you storm every time. That it's organic. You know what I mean? You don't just storm the storm, but you got to have it be organic. Band, awesome. It's everything. It's everything that's great. I put a lot of these. Look at it. You got birds even admiring how beautiful this shit is. You got 2 birds just sitting there saying, "This is better than any. This is better than any nest we fucking built." All right. I'm just gonna chill out here.
The NFL stadium.
Nah, I don't got any birds in this damn. You can't at Allegiant. They don't have bullshit. Lambeau might have a few birds, but majority of them, NFL's turned it into the Arena Football League. All right, it's fucking horrible, detrimental to my fucking honestly for like my health. It's very detrimental. The Browns in a fucking dome. Are you kidding me?
Oh God, don't start.
These birds got it. They got it good. These fans got it good. I can't wait to go to another Wisconsin football game, man. What do you give this thing 1 to 10, man?
It's another 10, man. This is a original.
I set you up. Right?
I give out more 10s than you do. You critique it more. I mean, you put together the slideshow and the photos, but man, I mean, this is Wisconsin fans care. That's why it's like the first 20 plus minutes of this episode has been painful because it's like, God damn, Wisconsin should be in a better state of mind and better state of a program than where we currently are at. They should not be missing a bowl game. Look at those fans.
Yeah, they are great fans, man. They're absolutely great fans. So it begs the question with, and look at that football weather, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You go see a fucking Big Ten football game. That's what it's supposed to look like.
They need that against Ohio State. They need a blizzard against Ohio State.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Shout out to Brandon Shirk that says he'd rather be shat on by those birds than watch a game in a dome. I co-sign that. And I learned that from experience. That wasn't just me randomly being anti-dome. Started going to all these fucking football games. I started moving into domes. And I was realizing that they all feel like you're at a shopping mall. I went to like the Fiesta Bowl at that State Farm, and it was supposed to be like the most exciting game of the season. You know, Fiesta Bowl, it's a big deal. Dude, man, I was like 20 minutes into that. I was like starting to fall asleep. It's like, where the fuck am I at? Is this a football game? What is this? Yeah, the stadium's great. Now, the state of the program, not so great right now, Mac. Am I being generous by saying 5 of 10? Because I do think they're very stupid to vote yes on adding those Pac-12 schools because it really puts Wisconsin behind the 8 ball. Another thing is they've tried to change their identity. I don't know how to get it back at this point. I know you could, but I don't know about their future, man. I love their fans. I love their stadium. They deserve to be good, but I have my concerns, especially when I see Indiana make the playoffs, and Indiana just landed like a 4-star yesterday. I feel like Cignetti's momentum behind that. Iowa and Kirk Ferentz, he's never going to die. We're going to get him those stem cell injections that we're talking about, so he can still win game 6-4.
Fucking Illinois.
And what's that?
Illinois.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where do you put the state of the program? I actually think they should be tripping the fucking fire alarms right now. Like, Rome is burning. Rome is burning, right?
I got a 3, man. I mean, they just missed a bowl game for the first time since 2001.
They don't have an identity anymore.
Yes, and to your point, their ex-coach is winning at Illinois currently. I mean, that's that's like rubbing salt in the wounds. Like, it's just like, God damn, like that was our coach, and now he's winning at Illinois of all places, and Indiana and Iowa. I mean, they still embrace their identity. Even Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota still finds a way to get to a bowl game with flex. So yeah, I'll give it a 3.
You know who could do it? Jeff Monken.
Oh, yeah, he'd be great there.
Oh, yeah. I believe he's from Chicago. Or he played at college ball with Jeff Query. They don't know who Jeff Query is, these Packer fans. Millikan University, I believe, in Illinois, somewhere there. You gave it a 3. I gave it a 5. Maybe I was being generous. Maybe not. Let's dive into the schedule. But before we do that, I do want to let the good folks know that the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long with $15 million in prizes they're giving away, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. All right, so sign up, and when you do, use the promo code TCESGPN. That's our promo code, and you'll be able to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a new game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the win line and win probability hit a certain range. But get this, Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know damn well we will be. Claim your free 7-day trial period today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. And the schedule begins with a dangerous game, in my opinion. We talked about how Western Michigan gave them all they could handle last year. If you watch that game, I recently watched that like a month ago. I was going back through, just throwing on a bunch of games from last year. Got like an 8 TV setup here. So I threw one of those on, and man, that shit was a game with like 6 minutes left, dude.
Yeah.
Western gave them all they could handle. But guess what? Miami, Ohio is way better than Western. They've played for two of the last two MAC championships, or maybe last three. I forget. And they also landed DeQuan Finn, the former Baylor starting quarterback, who was at Toledo and was awesome in the MAC. I think this is a very dangerous game. I really do. I will take Wisconsin, but I see that line right now at 17.5 points. I'm all over the points here. Give me the fucking points. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'm going to take Wisconsin just because, I mean, they got to have this game. I mean, this should be an all-out effort. Team off a bad year. Hey, what about Chuck Martin? Chuck Martin could be a guy that could fit at Wisconsin. I mean, he spent all that time at what? It was
Grand Valley State.
Saw Bo Ryan on the basketball front win championships. I mean,
he's a little long in the tooth, but I mean,
he'll bring that identity.
He will. He was at Notre Dame with Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
and maybe he was part of Brian Kelly's family that he talked about in Baton Rouge. Take the points though. I'll tell you that.
I mean, Wisconsin fans, Miami of Ohio has won 20 games combined in the last 2 years. It's going to be a tough game. They won the title once and then runner up the other year.
And they won in the title with they've battled crazy adversity. Gabbert got knocked out for the year, and they won the title with their backup. I think it was their second or third string that came in. So it's like, I know the chat was talking about Miami has 3 starts along their offensive line. I trust the program at this point. I trust the fucking program. DeQuan Finn is a very good quarterback. How about this? I think DeQuan Finn might be the best quarterback in the game. So, yeah, let's go. 1-0 though. Wisconsin gets by. They get that dub. Yep. Camp Randall. That's the difference. Then Derek Mason and Middle Tennessee come. They're fucking horrible. They also did something stupid and fired Rick Stockstill. All these Middle Tennessee fans were bitching, complaining that we go 8-5 every year. Well, you fired Rick Stockstill and you barely won any games last year, so enjoy. 2-0, Wisconsin, on Wisconsin.
Hey, man, it's bright at this time of year. 2-0 for the Badgers, and here we go.
Yes. Bryant Dennehy Stadium. Why am I having such a hard time with that? Bryant Denny Stadium. I like to call it Bryant Dennehy Stadium. Big Tom Callahan, you can get a good look at a butcher's ass by sticking your head up one. Well, they're going to feel like a butcher's ass after this game. They got worked in Wisconsin last year. Man, Alabama's going to fuck them up, dude. This series goes back to 1928. I'm all over the Tide here. 2-1. And I think they lose pretty soundly by double digits here. What are you doing here?
The only bright spot is that they have Georgia next. Alabama, That's the only bright spot. But this is a terrible matchup for Wisconsin. Alabama's speed on down there in SEC country. I'm with you. I think they blow Wisconsin out again.
Yeah. And then they come out of that. And this is a critical fucking game, dude. The Billy Edwards Bowl. Billy Edwards transferred, starting quarterback of Maryland last year. He transferred to Wisconsin. I look, you know my feelings on Maryland. I don't understand it.
Loxley.
They're fucking horrible. Their program bothers me because we're from the area. And they could be so great. We see all these 5-star kids from DC and Maryland and Virginia, all in that DMV area, go everywhere but Maryland. Wisconsin gets this one. Billy Edwards, another kid, by the way, from the area. 3-1. So things are starting hot. They better win this fucking game. If they lose this game,
it's over.
Yeah, just fire them then. What are you doing here?
Yeah, 3-1. And then Fickell's and the staff's got to work some magic here on one of these games.
The chat's saying, yeah, shout out to Cody Frazier. Wisconsin gets it done against Maryland, but Timothy Green saying he's taking Wisconsin over Alabama this year, folks. Timmy,
no
I
way.
love you, brother. What the fuck are you drinking, brother? In Brian Dennehy Stadium? Are you kidding me?
Alabama's gonna drill them.
Good luck. I'll bet you personally, I'll lay 17. Maybe even more when that game comes. So 3-1. All right, there's optimism. And now I believe they get a nice bye week. Good old Brian Calhoun.
And the season.
Yeah, just call it then. I believe this is the hardest stretch of games. The next 7 games or 8 games, but specifically the next 4, but in general, the next 7 or 8 games, I think is the hardest stretch in the country. And it begins with the trip to the Big House to take on Michigan. Bryce Underwood, their 5-star, probably going to be starting. Series goes back to 1892. They will lose this game. 3-2. You?
Yeah, I'm going to take Michigan in the Big House. I will say, I think Wisconsin could keep this one within striking distance, though, just because it's early in Bryce Underwood.
But what if it's the kid from Fresno? They brought in Mikey Keene, who I think is a good quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just either quarterback. I just Michigan in the Big House. I think they'll win the line of scrimmage.
All right, so that's 3-2. All right, you still have a winning season. You're feeling good about yourself. I can't tell you how important this game is.
They got to get this one, man.
Iowa at Wisconsin. Series goes back to 1894. Iowa has Mark Gronowski, multiple FCS national champion quarterback, playing quarterback for them. I think Iowa's a better football team. And when I think about Billy Edwards, who is a fun player, when I think about Phil Parker's defense, I'll take Iowa. I know they're much more vulnerable on the road, but I just think Iowa's a better football team.
The last time Wisconsin beat Iowa, Graham Mertz threw for 104 yards. So who needs Wisconsin?
Isn't that like their highest recruit ever, too?
Yeah. Remember your identity. You don't throw the ball against Iowa to beat them. Give me Wisconsin. You know, they got to have this game. And Iowa's coming off the Indiana game. They got Penn State on deck. They're catching them at the perfect time. They finally beat Iowa to end this little mini losing streak they've had against them. This is generous, though.
This is a body blow, though, dude. Right after Michigan, you're trying to go with this cha-cha-cha shit. I know they're trying to run more, but like Michigan's a body blow. Iowa's a body blow. And then, what do we got next? Ohio State comes to town.
Jesus.
Look at that stretch. Michigan, Ohio State, or Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State. Those 3 teams average what, like 9 wins a season, like combined, if you added up their past 5 years. Okay. Loss. Next.
on the Ohio State preview, though, they have traditionally fucked with Ohio State in that.
And it's the second end of the back-to-back for Ohio State.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe some crazy shit. You get some bad weather, but, I mean, if I give them Iowa, like, I'm not giving them Ohio State, too. I mean, Jesus Christ. But, hey, if you get this done, storm that damn field. And another note, too, last year they did play Penn State and Oregon really tough at home. I mean, they had the lead they should have beat Oregon. They had the lead in the fourth quarter, and I think they were down 1 at the beginning of the fourth quarter to Penn State. So if they can get these games in prime time, that would help.
Yeah.
That crowd at Camp Randall.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe they steal one just because Wisconsin fans are awesome.
Yeah.
Then after that, they had to. That's not Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's Eugene, Oregon. I fucked up on the slide, but look, they're gonna get destroyed here because all these Big Ten teams that have no offense, when they go to Eugene, they get destroyed. No, this might be the biggest lopsided score of any we've talked about so far.
Well, this is why they got to get the fucking Iowa game because
look at that stretch, dude. 3 of the 4 have played for national championships, and then like Iowa wins like 9 games every year. Good luck.
Yeah, Ohio State and Michigan are the last 2 champions, and then Oregon was undefeated last year, number 1 in the country. Yeah, they got to find a way to get Iowa. That's what it comes down to. And they have been bad against Iowa lately. Yeah, they're not winning in Eugene. Hell no.
Yeah, so that puts me at what? 3-5.
Yeah, I'm 4-4, and that was generous.
Well, they get another bye week after they come back from Eugene. And they come out of the bye week. And Washington comes to town. Let me just say this. Iowa or Washington, they surprise somebody and get an upset. But on paper, I think Iowa's a lot better than Wisconsin. I think Washington's a lot better than Wisconsin. I think Washington's going to be a pretty fucking good team this year.
So do
I. Once again, they played for the national championship, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
4 out of their last 5 opponents have played for national championships in the past 5 years. That's insane, right? What are you doing here?
I mean, I gave them Iowa. I can't give them. I don't think I can give them Iowa and Washington.
They're not as good. Like, what does Wisconsin have that's good? What's a skill position that you say, or not even a skill position? What is a position where you say, dude, they're fucking good? Like Washington, I'm like, dude, their quarterback's a baller, right? I like Jonah Coleman at the running back spot. I think he's nasty, right? I can do this by team and say, man, I don't know. And I know it's a team sport. Maybe you steal one against Iowa or Washington. I'm being generous, I think, by just saying one of those ones they'll get.
That's where I feel like Iowa's the more likely one, just because it could be a crazy 13-12 game. Washington just athletically is too much, in my opinion, for them. So yeah, I'll go loss.
So now we're at the same record again. Then we're at because I'm giving them a win, even though I don't want to give them a win. I just feel like
gotta get one right.
I just feel like charity over here, just like, come on. So what's our record right now?
4-5.
4-5. Then the very next game, they head to Indiana to take on Signetti. They're losing this fucking game, dude.
They're not winning this game either.
They made the playoffs. How many playoff teams did they play in a row? Like teams that have been in the playoffs or knocking on the door of the playoffs. Like Iowa's the only team that hasn't played in the playoffs. Alabama's been in the playoffs every year almost, right? Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, right? Washington, multiple playoff appearances. Indiana last season. I mean, this is fucking incredible. Loss. I think they lose by double digits. I think I'll lay 14.5 in this game. What are you doing here?
I'm taking Indiana, so let's set the scene now. They're 4-6. We're saying he's gone if they don't get to a bowl. Who's coming to town this next week.
There's a little bit of blood in the water.
Oh, God.
Oh, Brett Bielema. You fired him. Or no, I'm sorry, you didn't fire him. He just left because he clashed with Barry Alvarez. Apparently, even though they were pals for a while there. Series goes back to 1895. Illinois has like some of the most, I believe, they're one of the top 10 teams in returning production. I will take Illinois to go into Wisconsin and beat them because I think this is a game that matters to Brett Bielema. Barry Alvarez is still affiliated with the program. I think they're probably still friends. I don't know, but I just feel like it's a game he really wants to win.
It's a pride game.
Yeah. Loss.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. Bielema, he puts the dagger in the season to clinch the first time not going to a bowl game back-to-back years. And I'd have to look that up. The last time Wisconsin went back-to-back years. 4-7 for both of us, and then they get the rivalry game to end.
Yeah, shout out to Robert Martin. Says, love that Illinois logo. Yes, we like to honor Native American history. We don't like to destroy it. I think we'll look stupid in 100 years and we'll say, why the hell did they get rid of all that shit? We should honor Native Americans. Next up, you got the rivalry game. For the Axe, right? What the fuck's this called again? I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Established in 1890, Wisconsin at Minnesota. Yeah, this is a loss too. I am kind of bullish on Minnesota this year. I think PJ Fleck has got a better team than Wisconsin. I think there's better players. It's at Minnesota.
What is the name of this game again? The Paul Bunyan's Axe.
Yes, Paul Bunyan.
Give me Wisconsin to win a meaningless game in the rivalry for the Paul Bunyan.
Let me ask you: is Fickell even coaching this game?
That was my other thing. Is maybe they get the one game bump for the interim. They get him back. They win a meaningless rivalry game, pride game, 5-7, and that was generous in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Minnesota's better than them though, man. I think Minnesota might still be playing for something, so I can't take Wisconsin here. What's this win total? 5.5? What did you have them going?
5-7, and I gave him at Minnesota, and I gave him Iowa.
You're crazy. You're fucking crazy.
I'm still on the under.
Yeah, look, they're plus 50,000 to win the Natty. Have fun with that. Plus 15,000 to win the Big Ten, plus 3,500 to make the CFP. Look at that bird's eye view schedule, by the way. I want people to take this in. This is the hardest schedule in the country. Miami, Ohio is like a 10-win, like I said, 20 wins over the past 2 years. What, like
middle?
Like what's the floor here? 2? Like, what if Miami, Ohio upsets them?
Middle in Maryland, 2-10.
Yeah, I think that's the floor, and the ceiling is what? Best case scenario. Like, they beat Miami, Ohio, they beat Middle, they beat Maryland, they beat Iowa. They got 4 wins there. They get Washington, 5. Minnesota? 6?
Or Illinois, I guess.
This is a fucking brutal schedule.
6. I think I'm with you. I think 6 is the
6 is gotta save his job though, right? That's the thing. Is like Alvarez, a former coach, he's got to know this as the AD, right? Is he still the AD? I think he's still the AD. I don't fucking remember, right? But who's the current? Hey, chat. Who's the current AD for Wisconsin? Is it still Alvarez, or did he move along?
Chris McIntosh.
Okay, so it's been a while, huh? All right. Well,
when did McIntosh take over?
Yeah, I thought Alvarez. I guess I don't pay attention.
No,
to
it's
AD
like 3
shit.
years ago. Alvarez,
Okay.
yeah, Alvarez moved on after Fickell took over. So this is McIntosh's hire.
Well, he might get fired.
Let me ask you this: we're talking about Bielema's teams, those Rose Bowl teams. What would they go against this schedule? 8-4, maybe.
They would beat Miami, Ohio. They would beat Middle Tennessee. They would beat Maryland. They had Iowa's number, I feel like, for a little bit. So I would give them that one. That'd be 4. I think they'd beat Washington 5. I think they would probably 7, 8 wins.
Yeah, they could get Ohio State because they used to fuck with Ohio State when they were playing that.
I think that Michigan game would be a lot more interesting too if it was the old school style with Ron Dane and all those guys or Michael Bennett. That schedule's fucking insane though, dude. I mean, I have, just for record here, I have everyone on the schedule in a bowl except Middle Tennessee and Maryland. And believe it or not, those two could go to a bowl. Like Middle Tennessee sucks, but like this Conference USA is so down that someone's got to win those games.
Maryland's more talented,
Maryland's talented enough to go to a bowl. So there's a chance they could play their entire schedule could be bowl opponents. It's possible. Like, I don't think it's that far fetched. I just don't think Mike Loxley is a very good coach, but yeah, have fun.
What's Paul Chryst doing nowadays?
Wasn't he at Texas? I think he's Texas's run game coordinator, right?
Yeah. No. That was 2 years ago. I don't know. Is he not in the game? He's probably in the media somewhere.
He's probably just enjoying being a millionaire.
Yeah. He went 9 wins, take out the COVID year, 10 wins, 8
What'd
wins.
they fire him at? What was the year before they fired him? What did he win?
9-4.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Who the fuck are you, Wisconsin?
Hey, how about this? 2015, here was his tenure in Wisconsin. 10 wins, 11 wins, 13 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins. COVID year 4-3, 9 wins, 2-3 fired. That's bullshit. Yeah, McIntosh, he's got to go.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
How has he not got another? He's a special assistant at Texas, says Cody. How the hell has he not got another head coaching gig? Like, hey, can you rehire him? Can you guys go make amends?
And he played at Wisconsin.
Can you make amends? Him or Jim Leonard? Jim Leonard is actually another name that I think would be, yeah. Paul Chryst turned down the OC job at Iowa. That's because he's on the offensive staff at Texas. I think that's logical.
This is karma. This is karma. Yeah. I didn't realize Chryst was born in Madison as well.
Oh,
they did him wrong. Are you fucking shitting me? Yeah, this is karma the way that.
Well, beware what you wish for. What are you doing? If guys removed from a 9-year season, he starts off 3-2, you fire him? What? Anyway. Is Fickell back next year when we're doing this episode?
No.
I don't think so
can't
either.
see him get into a bowl game.
I don't think so either. And I actually think there's you better get that Miami, Ohio game. You want to talk about there is a fire next to a can of gasoline. If you open up week 1 and get upset by Miami, Ohio, then I got news for you. You might this could be over before it begins, dude. You know what I mean? Like the quit on the team could potentially happen. Players are paid now.
Yep.
Right? Watch out.
Hey, real quick, do you remember what game Paul Chryst got fired? I forgot about this, how it went down. They lost at home to Illinois 34-10. Bielema.
Yeah.
It could be Bielema 2.0.
He'll do it again. Do it again
week 13 to end Fickell. Oh, man.
Call me crazy. I'm going to lock this. I just, the more I think about it, I'm giving him one against Iowa or Washington, and I'm still at 4. I gave them a game that I don't think they're more talented, and I'm still at 4-8. And knowing the fact the way Western played them last year, Miami, Ohio's on the schedule too. I build me. So 6 wins would be what? Miami, Ohio, Middle Tennessee, Maryland, Iowa, 4.
Washington.
And then no, dude, they can't. They're not better than these teams.
I'm just saying. You say build the 6 wins. I mean,
I'm just like, Kirk Ferentz is a better head coach. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get out coaching that game. They're like, okay, maybe you can get it past them. They drop some on the road sometimes, but I just feel like Gronowski is a quarterback that I trust more than Billy Edwards. Show me that they're the least talented team on. I'm gonna say this. They are the least. Maryland is more talented than Wisconsin, in my opinion. So I believe they are the least talented team on 10 of their 12 games.
Yeah.
So why not bet that? That's what I'm asking you to do. Right
Hey, I like I said, I gave him Iowa and I gave him a Minnesota like meaningless game at the end, and I still was on the under. Yeah, I'll lock this with you. He's not. This will be the end of the Fickell era, and I'm calling my shot. Bielema is going to end Fickell just like he ended Chryst back in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
In Madison.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big party. They'll be at what's that strip club? I forget. Lock the under on Wisconsin. Lock. Feel very good about this. All right, double lock, and so Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Remember, we're breaking down all 136 teams in the nation. And Mac, tomorrow we get maybe one of the most interesting teams in college football, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I swear a computer put this together. They are paired with Duke. They're similar in my opinion. They both all of a sudden show up with a shit ton of money, start buying players. Duke and Texas Tech tomorrow is what we are talking. Don't worry. After that, it gets a little more boring with Northwestern. But Duke and Texas Tech, I think, two very interesting teams tomorrow. Can't wait to talk about them. We will be back. Obviously, we're live every single night of the season, basically, with the exception maybe a little bit of Mountain West Media Days, ACC Media Days. Can't wait to talk about those two programs tomorrow. Subscribe, youtube.com/The College Experience. Get on over there. Please hit that like and subscribe button for all that stuff. Chad is asking when the UAB preview is. I believe...
Hopefully never.
I actually believe it's one of the last ones that I drew. I have the spreadsheet. I believe it's you're gonna have to wait. I think that's like August 12th or something, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, somewhere deep down there. But don't worry, we'll talk about UAB. Them and Wisconsin. There's some similarities there. They might have openings in this upcoming year. Folks, I love Madison. Camp Randall's incredible. Wisconsin's history is awesome. The people are fantastic. They deserve a winner. I put together a slideshow to honor that history to end this show. YouTube.com/The College Experience. But excited to be back tomorrow to talk ball. This is the College Football Experience on Wisconsin edition. Run the motherfucking ball. You better start thinking about yours, truly. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages. 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely because leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged, your board stiff. So arrange the pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift.
I'm taking a pitch right now. It's like,
I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles tape. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pit. Of feet by the tree, they're the fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the head. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause it's easy goal and moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just a word to the wise and the weary. Recognize the authors of reality and theory. Theoretically, I could have won Scribble Jam. In reality, I lost to a legend. Theoretically, I'm best friends with Uncle Sam. In reality, I've never even met him. Now one day my potential may become reputation. Until then, I'm still a work in progress. I suggest you question what I'm saying. If anything, to become familiar with the process. My agenda may suit your needs. When I say your Bill of Rights has been ripped to shreds, but if it defends what you believe, hold dear to your truths and scream fuck seeds. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself.